Hi everyone, this is Laura, and as promised, I am going to be doing a quick little tutorial. Maybe even try to put a little bit of the card together. I'm not sure yet, but let's see how far we get. And if this angle with this camera is going to work for us, and if the lighting is good enough and we do great time, maybe I will try to put it together. I had promised everyone that I was going to go over how I created a card that I shared with you not too long ago, and I did create another one yesterday. I was actually supposed to do the tutorial yesterday, but I kind of got to feeling bad. My hands weren't up for it, and so I had to put it off till tonight. So let me share that with you now. Now, I did get 4 or 5 requests to try to create this card for you guys. And let me first share with you which card it was, just to bring you guys back. This was the card that I created. And the inspiration from this card came from Marie Gamber here on YouTube. And last night, that was the old one. This was another one that I made. And I used my bestie's Halloween stamp. And I'll go over the card and everything a little bit later. I just wanted to share with you the actual, I don't know whether to call this a card or a goodie bag. That's why I call it my goodie bag stand-up card, because you can stand it up and display it. And it is a card. The cover does come off. And see, you have a little card inside where you can write your sentiments. And it does stand up. And you can put a fair amount of goodies in here, because I've created it so that when it does expand, you see all that room, guys? You can fit lots and lots of stuff in here. And because it is the measurements, well, the length would be 6 inches and the width, which is going across, that would be 5.5 inches. So you wouldn't be able to fit a 6x6 pad, but you can fit just about anything else, lots of other little goodies. So that is what I want to try to share with you. Now, this is how I usually start my projects. I just get a piece of copy paper and I start writing what I did, because believe it or not, guys, sometimes I do things on the whim, meaning I have an idea of what I want to create, not sure if I can do it, so I draw it out. Sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't, and usually the first time I don't measure much of anything, and I forget what I did, so I have to write it down. Okay, so for this tutorial, you're going to need 2 pieces of white cardstock, or any other color cardstock, actually. You're going to need any kind of cardstock that you have. I would make it a nice cardstock, meaning a nice strong piece of cardstock, but you're going to need 2 sheets of that, 8.5 by 11. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I said that right. 8.5 by 11, or is it 11.5? 2 pieces of that. You're going to need a cutter, and you're going to need a scoreboard. And I have my Martha Stewart scoreboard here. But for right now, we're going to put that to the side, because we're going to cut our papers first. Now, the first sheet of paper that you're going to need, your first piece of paper that you're going to need, you need a piece that's 8.5 by 7.5. So, you know what, guys? I know that I'm doing it backwards, but for some reason, I can only cut my paper this way. So let's get that cut. We just want to cut this down to 7.5 because it's 8.5 already this way. And then the other piece that you're going to need is a 6 by 5.5. So first I'm going to cut it down for the 6, and then 5.5. Now you're going to have 2 pieces of paper. The extra paper that you have from cutting the 5.5 by 6 out, you want to save that because this is what you're going to need to cut for the cover of the envelope card. And the cover or the lid needs to be 6 3/4 by 3. So first I'm going to cut it at the 3 mark. And then I'm going to cut it at 6 3/4, which is a little hard for me to do on this thing because my 6 3/4 just happens to line up right on the part where it comes off over here. Yeah. Okay, so let's put the cutter away for a minute. Now what you're going to end up with is a piece that's 8.5. And you know what, guys? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Okay. You're going to end up with a 8.5 by 7.5 piece, 6 by 5.5, and this is the cover or the lid, 6 3/4 by 3. We're going to put that one to the side for now because we're not going to use that just yet. That's going to be the last piece that I score. The 6 by 5.5, you're not going to score at all, so you can put that one to the side as well. Now, on the long side, which is the side that's 8.5, you want to set that down on your scoreboard. Excuse me, guys. Oh, I need a sip of water. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to score 1/2 inch increments 3 times. So you're going to go to your 1/2 inch. Then you're going to go to 1. And then you're going to go to 1.5. Then you're going to take your paper, flip it over. And I just flip it over because it's just so much easier for me to do it this way. I could tell you go to 7.5, 8, and then 8.5. But I just like to do it this way. And if you like to do it the other way, feel free. Okay, so now you have your 3 score lines. And I'm sorry, my lighting is really bad. I wish I would have done this during the day. Maybe if I flip it this way. You have your 3 score lines here, as you can see up here. And then you have 3 score lines there. You want your score lines to be horizontal. So you're going to flip it over to the 7.5 side. And you're only going to do this on the one side. You're not going to do this on the other side, just this side. You're going to do the same thing and score 3 1/2 inch lines. That's 1, 2, 3. Now, because this is on video and because you really can't see the lines too well, I made one of these already, and I just want to share with you what that looks, because I actually wrote the measurements on it. So it would be a little easier for you to see. See, this is the base. You cut it. You cut out a piece of cardstock out of I'm so sorry, guys. 8.5 by 7.5, and then you're going to score long side 1/2 inch 3 times on each side, which is here and here. And then the bottom, you're going to score again 3 times 1/2 inch. Okay, now once you've gotten to that point, now we're ready for the lid, which is right here. And you're just going to score this at 1.5. You're going to go to 1.5 and just go all the way down. Basically, because the width is 3 inches, you just want it scored in half, and then you're going to fold that, and that's going to be the lid to the card. Now I'm going to move this because we're going to fold our score lines and then we're going to tape them down, and I want to show you how to do that too. So let me just put that away. Okay, so now we have our pieces here. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot one thing, guys. Oh my, see, this is why I always need to write things down. Your lid. I forgot there's one more little step for the cover. Okay, so you scored it at 1.5. Then you're going to take it on the long side, put it on your scoreboard, and you're going to score 1/2 inch on each side. So only one time. So you're going to score 1/2 inch here. Then you're going to flip it over. And you're going to score. And because I folded it now, it's a little bit trickier, but I can still do it. And you're going to score 1/2 inch. So you're going to have 1/2 inch on this side, 1/2 inch on this side, and you're going to fold those in a minute. First, we're going to cut a few pieces off. So now what you should have is the lid, which is 6 3/4 by 3, scored at 1.5 in the middle, and then you're going to score 1 inch on both ends. Now you see how I did that little pencil line? That's the piece that we're going to cut out. We don't need these 2 pieces. So we're going to cut that out real quick. And you're going to do that to both ends. And guys, I'm sorry because the lighting here is so bad that I can't even see my own score lines. There we go. And it helps sometimes when I bend it. You know, I have an outlight and I have a ceiling light above me, and still the lighting here at night is horrible. Oh, you know what? Look what I did. But guess what? That doesn't matter because... oh, you know what? Let me do this one. I don't want to confuse you guys. I should have done it on both ends. You know, I'm trying to look at the camera to make sure that I'm in frame. Of course, I'm nervous because this is the first time I do it. Well, I don't really do too many tutorials. Just the easy little peasy ones. And so I get a little nervous and I forget. Okay, so that's the lid. You cut off the 2 little pieces over here. And then what you want to do is just make a little snip. Just cut those little pieces at the end so that when you do fold it, they're not in the way. So then what you're going to do is you're going to fold these tabs inside and then fold this way. And if for whatever reason you have a little piece hanging out like I do, which always happens to me, and it's my scoring, it's not the cutting. I just cut off the little piece. I could still cut this a little bit more. So that's the cover. Now for the base, and this is where it's going to get super tricky, guys. Again, if you notice where you scored, the last score line here, one second guys, I'm gonna just take a pencil to it just to make it easier. It's going to be a perfect little square, and this is the part that you do not want, and this is the part that you want to cut out. So I figured if I kind of pencil this in, you'll see what I'm talking about. You see the first score line here? That goes all the way down. And then the first score line here goes all the way across. This is the part that you don't want. And it helps me with this poor lighting as well. So you just want to cut that out. Okay. Now what you want to do is just, I turn it over and I fold, and then I fold again, and I fold again, and then that just creates that little gusset there. You're going to do the same thing on all sides. Just fold it in. The first fold is away from you, and then the second fold it's towards you, and so on. And why didn't this fold good? Now, did I put my I sure did. I put my bone folder away. I don't usually fold with my bone folder. I usually fold with my fingers first, and then I go over it with the bone folder, which doesn't always work out in my favor, but it's what I do. So now I take my bone folder, I go over those folds. Oh, that's what I meant to share with you. Oh, away, first fold, second fold towards you, and third fold away from you. And that's going to give you your little gussets. Now I'm just going to go over them with the bone folder, make sure they're all nice and crisp. Okay, so now here on the gussets, and this is the part that's going to make the card stand up, so pay close attention. You see how you have your little gussets like this? And some people call them little peaks. Little peaks and valleys. See this first peak here and this peak here? On your side folds, you want to take your scissor and you want to slit the first peak, but you only want to cut up a little bit, maybe up to 1/2 inch. And then you're going to go to the other side and do the same thing, just 1/2 inch. You don't need more than that, guys. Okay, and now this is where it's going to get tricky, and this is where you're going to need some, maybe a little score tape or some glue. Liquid glue is fine, although when you're going to do something like this, it may be better to use the score tape or the ATG. You see that little slit there? You want to make sure that this slit falls in that hole when you fold this. So basically, guys, what you're going to do is this. You're going to fold these down like this, and then you're going to fold this up like this, but you want this to fall inside here. Now, I've already done one to try to show you what I'm saying, because I know it's very confusing when especially when I speak. You're going to say, what? You see there? You see how I did this? This is what it's going to look like when it's done. You see that there? You see the gusset? And you see the little tab that we cut, the slit? Yeah, that's what you want to do. So let me get a piece of score tape first. Let me have that ready. You know what? I'll just use my ATG for now. So now I am going to very carefully open it up and then just stick my bottom piece down, fold this down, and then fold this over. You see that? I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to open it up. This little peak I'm going to shove into that slit that's right there. And then I'm going to fold over. And when I do that to both sides, it's going to fit in perfectly. Only thing is I can't do things at this angle. See? You take your peak, you put it inside that little slit, you fold this down, and then you fold this down. You see that? You take the peak, come on, little gusset, go in. There we go. And now it's all folded. And then what you want to do is you want to put some glue here, just on this little corner here for now. And you want to put some glue there. And then whatever glue you do use, if it's a wet glue, give it a few minutes to dry. If it's not wet glue, you can use glue dots. They work really nice just for the corner. ATG or your score tape or your red line tape, whatever kind of adhesive you like. And then that's like that. Okay. So let's say I glued it already and it's dry. Now what you have is this piece right here. And this is the base of the card. Then you're going to take the front cover of this card, and this front cover, once you lay it down, should fit perfectly. See? This is the front. You're just going to take it. You're going to put some glue here, some glue here, and some glue here, and then just lay the cover on top. Now, for this, I'm going to use my ATG, only because I've done this card quite a few times already. I know it's not going to come apart, and I already know what I'm doing. And this is, I believe, the fourth one I'm making. I've made 3 of these cards already, and I have to tell you, I'm really, really loving it because I can fit goodies for my friends. Plus, I just think it's cool. Oh, another thing I wanted to share with you guys, that if you didn't want to decorate the front the way I did, this can also be a mailable card, meaning you can mail it, put a card inside, and just do some maybe envelope art. And then once you have the cover on it, because of the gussets and they flatten down, you can mail it just like this as well. And I'll explain that more in a minute. Okay, now for the cover. Remember the 2 little tabs that we cut on the side? Now we're going to put some glue on that as well. You do not want to glue the inside. What you want to glue is the outside, because you want to glue the top onto that tab. For this, I would not use liquid adhesive at all, because if the liquid smears off a little bit on the side, it is going to completely close your lid, and you won't be able to put it on the envelope. And ask me how I know that. Yeah, first time making it, that's exactly what I did. So okay, so I have adhesive on both ends. Then I just want to lay that down flat and close it. And see, now you have a lid. Now the reason I put the tabs in it as opposed to just taking 2 pieces and gluing it down, A, then it would stick out, and B, I want a little bit of room in case I decorate this and it's a little chunky. And then you just put the cover over the card, and there you go. When you want to stand up the card, you just take this flap and bring it down. You take this flap and bring it down. Now you have a stand-up card. So I hope you guys liked my card tutorial for your stand-up goodie card. I have gotten quite a few requests for it. I'm sorry, it did take me quite some time. And I am going to have all the measurements for this listed below. And also, I have a little announcement to make. And now that we waited to the end, I am going to be announcing a giveaway in the next few days. I had a problem with my blog, and I had to give it up because a few years ago I accidentally erased my, well, I went to erase my blog account and I didn't realize that it was going to erase everything else. Long story, won't go there. But anyway, the announcement is I am going to start my blog up again. And I am going to be asking all my subbies to go on over and sub to my blog, and I will be having a giveaway on my blog. I will probably be announcing that either tomorrow or maybe tonight if I have enough time. I'm not sure. Okay, so now that I finished sharing with you how to make the card, let me share my card with you. Now for this card, I used several stamps. I used this stamp from Inka Dinka Doo. I used this stamp from My Style Stamps. I used my lawn fawn set. And guys, I'm just doing this really quick because I already took so much time with the tutorial. If you want to know any of the names of any of these stamps, just PM me. And of course, I will get you that information right away. I also used several of my diamond dies. I used my diamond die bow die, which is a new release and now available at diamonddies.com. I used my spiderweb die, which is my favorite Halloween die. Look at how big is that spiderweb, guys. Awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, did I use another die? Oh, and it also comes with a little spider. And it also comes with the word boo. Oh, and I used my top note die. I remember now. So for this card, I used a basic gray Erie paper pad, and I think I have 4 sheets left, and that's it. Finally, after all this time. And I just love this background because of the dead trees and the bats and everything. The die cut, the diamond dies spider web that you see here, I actually, and I don't know if you can see that, I actually embossed this with this American Craft silver embossing powder. And it's the metallic finish. And I love the way my spider web came out. This is one of the Inka Dinka Doo stamps. I just fussy cut it. I colored it in with my distress markers. And then I put stickles on it. The little spiders, as you can see, I took my Pro marker in black and I did lots of little dots. On this one, I colored in the little feet. On this one, I actually outlined the feet. And on this one, I think I left him alone. Yes, I did. Where is Variety? Here she is. This is one of my my bestie's Halloween stamps. I did have her here because I don't know her name. Her name is Little Pumpkin Girl. And this is also from the Inka Dinka Doo set. And I just love that and it has a little birdie on top. And I colored all of this I colored in with my Pro markers. The Trick or Treat came from the Lawn Fun set. I have her on Pop Dots. I have the Trick or Treat bag on Pop Dots and one of the pumpkins on Pop Dots as well. I also added some stickles. And I just love the way I also added some black stickles, some green stickles. And that's my little Halloween girl. I had so much fun coloring her in, and then I fussy cut her. To the back, I left it plain because I don't. I actually made this for someone that I have in mind, and I don't want to give it away. And then this again, the diamond die spider web die with just one little spider, and this little spider I colored in the tips of her very long creepy legs. And then I have all my little pumpkins that I colored in with my Pro markers, another rest in peace. And this is the stamp set that Jamie sent me from the Not Too Shabby shop. It was the Amy R, I think it's called Spooky Greetings. I don't have it in front of me because I'm actually working on another project. And this top note here is my Diamond Dies nesting top note set, which is also new and just came out in the latest release. And on the and then I used one of my little scrolly stamps down here to give it that little viney look. And then what I did is I tried to make it look like it wrapped around and went to the other side. And here I fussy cut a little witch's broom, the Trick or Treat bag. She's taking a time out because she's tired. Oh, I did use another die. I used my Diamond Dies Leaves die. And as you can see, I distressed all of them with black soot, as I distressed everything else on this card. Then I took my shimmer sprays in light purple, light green, and light orange. And I don't know if the camera's going to pick up all that shimmer, but I sprayed the heck out of it. And the reason I use the shimmers instead of Lindy's or Tattered Angels is because the shimmers is more of an opaque, translucent type of shimmer, and it's silvery, and I can still write a note and it won't be it's not a deep saturated color. And I love them both. I love the translucent opaque look, or I can really, I mean, I love my Lindy's. I can't say anything about my Lindy sprays. They're, to me, they're the best. But they are very rich in color. So that's my card share, guys, and that's my tool for the envelope goodie pocket card. Oh, I did forget to say, and the reason I didn't mention this in the tutorial was because what I wanted to share with you guys was, if you wanted to tape this all the way around and mail as is, you could do that and just put a card inside. Now, the card measurements are going to be, they're not 6 by 5.5. The card that goes inside has to be 5 3/4 by 5 1/4. If you choose to make a card, you may not choose to put a card inside like I did. See, this is actually my card. This is the part that goes inside. I just decorated the envelope outside of the card. This is the actual card. You may choose to keep this just as a little stand-up goodie bag. You can do that too. You don't have to make a card to go inside, although I did. Oh, and then on the little cover, I put some crochet lace black trim. And then I also put a little pumpkin on the bow. And again, I distressed the bow. And I love those diamond die bows, dies. Oh my gosh. They add, oh, and they're so easy. So that's my stand-up goodie card. And now the recipient can have goodies. She can have a card. And she can also have a little pretty envelope. And my camera's not focusing. Focus, camera. Woohoo. Camera. My camera, you know, I thought it was so great. It really isn't. And then you can have a little stand-up little pocket card like that. So guys, I hope I wasn't too much of a mess on this tutorial. I sure hope you understood it. If anyone needs to see anything that I've done with this tutorial again, please message me and I will be happy to go over it with you. And these are just some of the Halloween images that I already stamped out. You know what? I might just come back with this envelope and do a process video on decorating it with you. I'm not sure which image I'm going to use yet. These are all the Halloween stamps that I have in my possession, except for my little Tilda Witch. That one I didn't take out yet. But these are all my little Halloween images that I own, besides this little cutie pie and my little Tilda Witch, which I didn't stamp her out yet because I'm going to make a card with her later. Alright guys, like I said, be on the lookout for the upcoming announcement of my new blog and my blog giveaway that I will be doing. And I'm also going to have a challenge coming up soon as well. I hope you're all enjoying your weekend, and I will be talking to you all very soon. Like I said, if you have any questions about this tutorial, any questions at all, please message me and I will be happy to go over anything that you want. I know I'm sounding like a broken record. It's late, guys. I'm just hoping I did this correctly and that you guys can actually follow the tutorial and make a few of these awesome goodie bag cards. for some friends and for yourself or for some loved ones. Thank you all for watching and have a most blessed weekend. Bye for now.